Hi, I'm Shirley Ngai. I'm Associate Professor at the Department of Rehabilitation Sciences. My teaching and research specialty is in the area of cardiopulmonary physiotherapy. So one of the flipped classroom approach that I use is the computerized medical simulation. And it is designed with reference to the problem-based learning and also the flipped classroom approach. And my students, they need to form small groups to study the related online case scenario and also find out the details of the patient management on their own. So with the class time being freed up, students have more time to practice the hands-on skills with a computerized high-fidelity model in a clinical setting. So this is one of the medical simulation lab that we use for our students' practice. So this integrated simulation practice is followed by the instructor-guided facilitated debriefing so that students can learn from their peers, instructors, and through self-reflection. And I come up with this teaching practice because I found that many students have encountered a lot of problems in preparing the clinical placement. Despite the students are well equipped with knowledge and skills from university learning, they still feel very stressed, nervous, and lack of self-confidence when facing patients' time-to-time conditional changes, and especially working in unfamiliar situations in hospital settings. So some students even felt very difficult in memorizing the overwhelming information learned in school, integrating the knowledge learned, and also make quick decisions on the spot for holistic patient management. So they usually find it very difficult to retrieve the right information out of the overwhelming knowledge learned in school and integrate into the practice. So these usually impede their learning and greatly affect their performance in clinical placement. So with the use of this approach, it addresses students' learning needs, especially in the clinical reasoning training for the clinical placement. So as a result, the students can have better confidence and also better clinical placement performance. So when communicating with students, they mentioned to me that they felt more confidence after practice because they feel they have more experience in working in a unfamiliar situation, especially in a hospital setting like this. So with these, with the classroom being freed up, so what they can do is they can gain more valuable hands-on experience and on-the-spot training on the clinical reasoning through the bedside practice. So this usually forms a bridge between university teaching and also the clinical placement, so the student will be able to work in an unexpected situation. The most important thing is the instructor-guided facilitated debriefing. So students can receive the instant feedback from his teachers and also from peers so that they can learn from mistakes. And especially with the university-based learning and integrated practice, students can even consolidate the knowledge and get prepared for the clinical placement easily. So what they felt is they have got improvement in their preparation and especially self-confidence, and they have less worries to work in a clinical placement. So as teachers, we spend less time to cover the basics and introduce a case scenario to students because students have already gone through it through online modules. And we can better utilize their class time on the debriefing and also evaluating students' performance. So that with these, we can discuss with students, they can learn from the mistakes and know why they do it wrong or why they do it correctly. That can help the student have a better interactive work with teachers and also engage them for better learning.